We've made it to the end of Season 1. It's time for the first ever off-season in Scranton State history. Starting it off looking at the AAC Championship game. Of course, Temple and North Texas were the ones that made it. We then went and decided to take a look at some awards on the year. And Aaron Bruner, our star cornerback, actually won Best Defensive Back in the nation. Not really too surprising. He scored a few touchdowns. We were happy for him. We simulated the next week, and we got our first ever commit. It was Jermaine Norton, not our first ever commit, our first commit of the offseason. Jermaine Nortman joins the squad. Carson Beck took home the Heisman Trophy. Really good season for him. And then we got to look at early National Signing Day. We had Amani Boanko, we had Jermaine Nortman, Azai Aboybe. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's what I'm going to say. And a bunch of guys that, maybe we're going to stay in the hunt for. Brian Schillens, not really too sure about it. We started going after some four-star players, Ahmad Short and Schillens being those ones there. Then we look at we look at All-Americans. And on the first team, we have Mac Moody. He'll be back next season. Hopefully we can get a repeat of that. And then in the American Conference, All-Americans, of course, Mac Moody was on the first team. No one else from Scranton State. Second team, nobody from Scranton State. Kind of weird to me because, we got Nicky Price and Anton Ackerman for the freshmen. Doesn't make sense. Aaron Bruner was the best defensive back in the nation, but he didn't get any All-American nods. Taking a look at some of our stats on the year, I think we had some players put up some really good numbers. Nicky Price with his 27 passing touchdowns to 12 picks was pretty good. Mac Moody was able to average 5 yards per carry and get 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. Nicky Price also put up 7 of his own. Receiving wise, Kip McCrary was so close to getting 1,000 yards, but he just came up a little bit short. Andres Vo was kind of like our big, average yards per catch guy. But, we need some more speed on this roster, especially at the wide receiver position. We didn't get any separation. We weren't able to hit very many big plays. Defensively, we were led in tackles for loss by Isaiah Coles, the junior. We're really looking forward to seeing what he can become. He had 8 sacks as well. Brooks Lacey was good. He's a senior, though. He's gone. Interceptions, 2 for Brooks Lacey, 2 for Aaron Bruner, and he had those 2 touchdowns as well. That's how he won best corner in the nation. We simulate ahead another week. No commits in this week, and our pro potential has dropped, and Isaiah Coles has a slightly higher risk of transfer because of it. Hopefully, that is not something we deal with, but we move on to the players leaving stage. And Isaiah Coles and Chauncey McCollum both want to leave. We don't care about Chauncey McCollum. We're sending that guy to the moon. He stinks. But Isaiah Coles led the team in sacks. He led the team in tackles for loss. There's no chance at persuading this guy. Chauncey McCollum, we didn't even try. But Isaiah Coles tried it, failed. So unfortunately, we are going to lose him, along with some other pretty solid seniors on this team. Dario Vera, Brooks Lacey, Aaron Bruner. Quite a few starters on this team are not going to be here next season. This took us to our first step of recruiting. Now, at the time that I did this, I was still a little bit new to it, so I wasn't really sure how many points I wanted to put into certain guys. But I was able to go through it, kind of figure out who I really wanted, who I didn't feel like we needed too much. James Poe here, I don't even remember if we fully scouted him or not. No, I fully scout him right here, and I find out something awful. 86 speed. Don't even care about him anymore. Don't even care if you get. That's like the slowest receiver on our team right now. But yeah, so we're looking at a lot of these guys like James Poe, whatever. But our most important guys, we have some 4 stars here that we're trying to get. Trying to get Ahmad Short, trying to get Brian Schillens, and we also have some corners, some edge rushers like Cam Bostic, Greg Woods, that we're really trying to get to help solidify this defense. I was able to scout a few more players. Steven Jocelyn would come in with 78 power moves, and we really want to get him in on the team. We're heavy in the lead for him. Storm Sermons, more of a run stopper. I'm really just looking for speed. 81 is good enough. at the linebacker position. And then I also found a tight end I liked, Eric Rathman, 80 speed. He's going to go ahead and get a scholarship as well. Now, Ahmad Short, it says he's a bust as a 4-star. I really don't care. He's a 4-star that's trying to come to our school. I don't care if he's a bust. We don't have any 4-stars on this team. Our team stinks. So we're still putting a decent amount of points into Short. And then I was looking at Brian Schillens here, and I was kind of thinking, I don't think we're really going to be in this race against Kansas. We took him off the board. This led me over to the transfer portal, and there is a decent amount of like 3-star transfers that want to come to Scranton State. So we threw some guys on our board. We had Jaden McGowan we throw on our board. Adam Randall is going to get put on our board. We're going to do some scouting here as well. Obviously, got to learn more about these guys before they get scholarships. But yeah, there's a really strong number of guys that wanted to join Scranton State. Ton of receivers here, CJ Smith as well. We go ahead and do some scouting. I saw a 95 speed on Jaden McGowan. Didn't need anything else. He's getting a scholarship. Steven Souls, middle linebacker, pretty solid speed. He's getting a scholarship. And among other guys, JD Stewart doesn't look very fast. I think I gave him a scholarship anyways. And then we only had 5 points remaining, and that took us to the next week. And Tavarius Troop, the quarterback from Kingsland, Georgia, commits, but that is again the only commit that we got this week. We were having a really slow off-season recruiting stage to start things out. I was starting to get a little bit worried, like not knowing how many of these guys are even going to join the team, because we're putting points into these guys. And then we scouted CJ Smith. I saw he had 98 speed. Instantly sent the house. I need this guy on my team now. We don't have speed on this roster. Our fastest guy has like 91 speed. That's Mac Moody. I need some more playmakers that can get the ball and run with it. I need some more guys that can, make guys miss and then just break off for huge gains. We need a big play out element to our offense. We did a lot of quick passes, a lot of screens. So I'm looking for guys that can run. Sean Wilson is not that guy. He only has 87 speed. DeAndre Coleman only has 88 speed. So we're really, a lot of these guys, we're just seeing what their speed is and taking them off our board almost immediately. Mason Williams doesn't show his speed as a tight end, but he has really good route running ability, so we put him on our board, gave him a scholarship, and we were just about ready to move on to our next week. We're going to be doing that right here. Don't know why I took so long with editing this part. No commits this week. Now we're really starting to get worried. Who's gonna join this team? Who's gonna be on this squad for next season? We're putting a ton of points into some of these guys. Now we gotta start setting up some visits, maybe. So we get CJ Smith set up with a visit, and then I think we get one more guy set. Oh no, we don't. But we went back to the transfer list and we looked at DeAndre Coleman once again. He's a transfer freshman 3-star. Put him back on the board. And Eric Fine has 82 speed. That is not fine. Yeah, we put DeAndre Coleman back on the board. And we did a little bit more scouting on him. And he actually looks really solid overall. Everything is like the mid to high 80s. All around. He can run his routes. He has a good spectacular catch. So we put him back on our board, gave him a scholarship, trying to get this man on the team. I want completely new wide receivers to throw the ball to next season. Kim McCrary, he's okay. He has no speed, no route. Well, he has like 89 speed, but he can't run a route. Javion Palmer, he can run a route. He's got no speed. Anton Ackerman, he's got no speed. So I was looking for guys that we can get on this roster to make us faster. And after week 3, still no commits. When is someone going to join Scranton State? James Poe went to South Carolina. Wasn't too upset about that one. He only had 86 speed. I really could not care less. Then a couple other guys we just put on our board. I was a little sad we didn't get Jaden McGowan, because 95 speed would have been one of the fastest guys on our roster. We had 265 hours though now, as we get these guys off our board that don't want to come to Scranton State. And we're just looking trying to allocate these points best as I can, trying to see if there's any other sneaks we can find on the prospect list, whether it's a 3-star out of high school or a 3-star in the transfer portal, or even like a 2-star in the transfer portal at this point. I'll take them. So we did a little bit more scouting. We found Cedric Fox, a pass coverage middle linebacker with 88 speed. Gave him the scholarship immediately. He'd be one of our faster defensive players. And we saw Timmy Hinish here as well. Threw him a scholarship. And we were just about ready to get into our final week here. Who's going to join our team? 98 speed CJ Smith becomes the new fastest guy on our roster. Cam Bostic's on the team. Greg Woods, the edge rusher. Marvin Pride, a safety. And DeAndre Coleman, another wide receiver. We're going to go through all of our guys right here. I'm not going to name everyone that we got, but we got just about every player that we were going after on our board. We got some new edge rushers. We got some new guys to throw the football to. We got 4-star Ahmad Short to join the roster. That is our biggest get by far. Mason Williams there as well. And then a couple guys that for some reason just decided not to move on to the college level for whatever reason. Cedric Fox joins the team as well, 88 speed. And this gave us actually a pretty good class. Number 46 in the nation, 23 stars and 1 4-star. We got to take a look at some of our overalls for these players as we got into the position changes here. Amani Bowanko, the Gem 3-star, only comes in as a 68. I thought he was going to be a little better, maybe like a 71, 72, but he is a 68. The highest overall player on the team now, though, is Mason Williams, the tight end. 78 overall. The only issue is he's got no speed. CJ Smith comes in at a 76. DeAndre Coleman, a 74. Ahmad Short is a 73. So we got some new guys to throw the ball to and a little bit more speed on this roster. We also have Josh Hart, a freshman with 90 speed. And yeah, so we are going to have some more dynamic playmakers. And I don't show it here. I forgot to show it. But Ahmad Short has some decent stiff arm ability and some decent trucking ability, which is crazy from a wide receiver. But we're going to try to make the most of it. Cedric Fox comes in at a 66 overall. He will be a starter. Both Jermaine Nortman and Cam Bostic, 67 overall. I don't know why it says South Alabama Jaguars on top. We're clearly looking at our team. Jaden Elway is a 67, and Marvin Pride is a 64. And we got to go into our training results, get to see how much better this team is. We're all the way up to a 76 overall team, a 76 offense, 77 defense, and Nikki Price went up to a 70 overall. So now I'm wondering, is there going to be a quarterback battle to find out who the starter is going to be? Nikki Price had a pretty good freshman season, but we were supposed to just bring in Amani Bowanko and have a new guy for the next 4 years. Not really sure what the move is going to be. Mac Moody, though, goes up to a 77 overall, and Javion Palmer goes all the way up to an 81, and he has 99 release, so he will be getting off the ball like no other. We've got a few other guys go up pretty decently. Disappointing, though, is Kip McCrary only going up to a 71. We're really hoping for a little bit more, being that he was our best receiver a season ago. Rocky Gamble took a massive jump. He went from a 62 all the way up to a 74. Can't say I expected that at all. The offensive line looks decent. Everyone's going to be in like the mid-70s range, except for Grant Huff, who stinks. But yeah, we'll have a decent little offensive line. I'm still not sure what to expect from them. And then, just a lot of our guys are hitting that mid-70 overall range, which really there's a massive difference between like high 60s and mid-70s. So I'm really expecting a decent amount of growth from this team. I'm expecting us to play a lot better, pass rush-wise. Maybe being able to stop the run a little bit, because we couldn't stop the run at all last season. But now our guys have gotten just a little bit better. One of the nicer things is in the cornerback room, we have a few guys really in the mid-70s, so we're able to cover a little bit better. Dorian Mills Is it, or Dakota Mills? I forgot his name. He has really good cover ability. You see 94 man coverage over there, but he only has 85 speed. So I'm wondering if there's a spot for him that really fits, because I'm not sure if 85 speed can be like an outside corner or even an inside corner really, but we will see what we do. This took us on to encouraging transfers. We had to clear 9 spots on the roster. We started with Lamont Hayes, 66 overall, redshirt sophomore. There's just no reason to have him on the team. Then we went to the running back room, where I didn't even see who we just got rid of, but we got rid of someone. Asher Varner would be the next man getting cut. 86 speed, 64 overall. You're never really going to see the field. There's no point in having you on the roster. I believe we also try to find... Oh, yes, we do. Look, I know he scored our first ever touchdown in team history, but Anton Ackerman only has 84 speed. He's the odd man out. We have encouraged him to transfer as well. One more wide receiver here, Ahmad Young. We are also going to send him out. I know he had that crazy Hail Mary touchdown catch. There's just not room for some of these guys on the roster. We're finally able to cut out some of these like 50 overall players that are just never going to play. And honestly, they're holding down our overall. They're making us look worse than we really are. Last but not least, here is our schedule for Season 2. We're going to kick things off against SEC opponent Vanderbilt before we travel on to our arch rival, Penn State, over at Beaver Stadium. Then we're going to play Kansas State in our first ever ranked matchup in Bill Snyder Family Stadium. After that, we get into our American Conference play. It's all the normal people. One thing that's crazy, North Texas comes in this season ranked number 24 in the nation. And we're also going to take on Oregon State later in the season as well. Guys, that is going to do it for me. A quick rundown of the offseason, the players we got, the team that we're going to have for next season. Let me know who you are the most excited to see. What matchup are you the most excited for on this schedule? This is 24kin. If you enjoy what you're watching, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all of that nonsense. Have a good day. Peace.